Today's movie, I will show you a crime drama thriller made in 2020, starring Isabel May and directed by Kyle Rankin, titled Run, Hide, Fight. Spoilers ahead. Our opening scene, well, it starts off with a father and a daughter way out of town in the middle of the woods near dawn. The low amount of saturation reminds me of The Walking Dead here, but the daughter and the father are into some deer. They want to kill it, probably for some food or something. Or maybe they're just psychopaths and they enjoy killing animals. By now, you would think that the deer is completely in the heavens, but it actually is still alive, and the father is going to give her a motivational speech on how animals are suffering and how you should end it. But before dying, it wanted to traumatize them and give them PTSD for the rest of their lives.
The animal will die a natural death, but with that process comes extreme pain.
And while the dad goes all inspirational on the girl, she's already They finally make it home, and then title card. I've always wanted to say that. We get our little shower scene with her, but sadly, that's all we see. Did nobody teach this girl how to hold a spoon? Oh, and she has random visions of her mom. Yeah.
I mean it, stop.
Stop what?
Stop taking your daughter to go kill innocent animals in the middle of the woods at dawn. Their relationship is pretty stiff and their conversation is pretty static. But then, suddenly, somebody beeps. Outside beeping is Lewis, but Dad don't let her go and says he can wait. Dad tells Zoe she's cutting everything off and she needs help, but she ain't having it. Before she leaves, Dad tells her to take off the jacket.
Take off my jacket.
But then Lewis comes and saves her. They both talk about the relationship with Zoe's dad and then they find some jerks.
You freaks fuck yet or what?
The Jeep kind of pushes them off onto the dirt, and the guy makes a whole analogy of his whole life being pushed onto the dirt. Lewis is trying to get the engine back on, but Blondie over here spots something very off. There's a guy with a white van, and he's walking off into the grass. This doesn't sound good at all when you put that together. They make it to school, and today is senior prank day. That is really funny.
This is high school. Nothing that happens here matters in the real world.
Foreshadowing. And it's the end of the year because the senior prom is coming soon, and in the most cringy way possible, this guy just asked the girl out.
Get back to business.
At the end of the class, the teacher gives Zoe a little talk about how she's not really been that active in the class anymore, but give her a break. It's the end of the year. Who cares anymore about your class? She goes back to her locker and, hey, Lewis is asking her on a prom date. What will she think about that? Remember the weird guy in the grass? Zoe takes notice of this. Hey, a new student's come into the office with 2 book bags on him. I wonder what he has in there.
After
Very
lunch.
cool.
12:35.
Very cool. Cool.
Yeah, I would have been dialing the police by now. It is lunchtime and everybody at Vernon Central High School is hungry. They start discussing about the prom and for some reason she does not like the idea of the prom. Then he's like, sorry, it's too early, your mom. And then she wasn't talking about her mom. And then they get pissed and then everything goes downhill and then he does this.
Oh, you shit.
Jesus.
Sorry.
She's not mad. She just needs to go to the bathroom now. More explosions. When she's in the bathroom, she spots a girl fixing a ceiling, as if she just came from there.
Something over here.
While in the bathroom, she has her daily talk with her mom, that is dead. Everybody in the cafeteria goes crazy as a loud roar is incoming, and hey, there's the white van. What is this guy doing though? He died already. He's already dead. So you're telling me she didn't hear the van because of a little fan? And there it is, our school shooter. He starts dropping people like flies. Our second shooter, that girl from the bathroom, the kid from the office asking for lunchtime.
Trigger warning.
About 4 students have been sent to the other realm, and she is still drying her jacket. After spending all this time drying and cleaning the jacket for a woman to put blood all over her, I would personally join the shooters and become the 5th. Another guy who is completely unaware of the situation because he's blasting an El Chapo. Skater passes the shooter's vibe check, so he sits down and joins the cult while Zoe is getting the hell out of there. Shooter number 4 asks the girl if she has a phone. Firefighters are now fighting the fire. The shooter tells her to call her mom, and the mom calls the police.
Did she?
Fantastic.
Meanwhile, Zoe crawls around. Lewis gets a chance to call her mom and tell her how much of a beautiful mom she is. Zoe falls off the vent, makes a loud noise, and now the shooters are coming after her. Cafeteria lady sacrifices her life for Zoe. Cute.
You should be ashamed.
And now, after like an hour, the office finally is aware of a school shooting. At this point, Zoe has left the school. She could have lived a fine life, but she decides to turn around. She finds students, tells them to get out of there. They do, but one lady wants to stay there.
I'm with you.
Tristan is out here chasing clout as he tells all of them to live stream. This guy does not get paid enough. Apparently, the whole reason that Tristan is shooting up the school is because the principal decided not to give the guy attention and basically put him to the side. So why not just kill the principal? When it was time to run, the security guard folded in half. If you want to be spared, pee your pants. The 2 Cookie Scout girls start warning classes about the shooting, but light taps on a window ain't gonna do it. Tristan asks the audience which one has the most viewers, and of course, Lewis has over 1,000.
Can't just
That's more like it. Why does she go inside of the room when she's trying to save them? Just let them come out. They can come out by themselves. They're grown people. Now a shooter comes in and now you're dead. Thanks to all his viewers, Lewis has now joined the shooter team. And the van has a homemade bomb. Zoe is smart. She pulls fire alarm. The shooter is smarter. She breaks the fire alarm system while killing a janitor in the process. And then she shuts down the whole school. God damn it. Did you even make sure that the students saved their progress before that? Zoe finds the cop and then a bomb went off. That officer's never resting in peace after that one. Zoe gets stepped on her hand, but she keeps quiet. She continues warning classes of the shooters, but she gets shot on the leg. Then uses a locker as a bulletproof vest. Makes a run for it into the balloon room. That's one way to open a door.
Don't worry, amigos. For those of you just joining us, this is a school shooting.
They go back and forth, but then it gets weird.
Quítate la blusa.
Meanwhile, shooter number 4 is looking for Zoe in the balloon room. Zoe gets a jump on her and they both start fighting for the weapon. They take their time, but eventually, shooter number 4 eliminated. Back to Pornhub.
What, you think I'm a child? Everything.
Teacher is forced to take off her clothing so that nobody is harmed. Back at the CAF, the MP40 goes wild on the police officers. 2 students make a run for it, but they instantly regret it. Spanish teacher got harassed enough and now it's time to go back to the CAF. Shooter number 3 is still kicking doors. Zoe sneaks up on him with a wrench.
Anna, where are you?
That is a very slow reaction time. A chase down between shooter number 3 and Zoe begins. Zoe has a little surprise though. The shooter doesn't even get to stand up before Zoe pulls up with the fire extinguisher. She handcuffs him to a seat and he gives her a shooter origin story of how he was publicly embarrassed. Zoe's dad is now aware of the situation, and by the way, that guy was in the military. And now, Zoe has a shotgun. Then she found the class, told them to follow her because she's badass, all while on a call with the sheriff. She brings the whole class to safety, but the teacher decides to be a brave badass and stay with her. They continue to save the world, one class at a time. Shout out to Tristan for making it on national TV. Tristan tries to contact the shooter squad, but Zoe has their phones. He then tells her she better come to the CAF, otherwise every 5 minutes a student will die. Just in case you didn't believe me, Zoe agrees to come. Dad is sick and tired of waiting, so he puts the cap on and activates John Wick mode. Zoe goes back to the auditorium to talk to the weird kid she handcuffed, puts on his glasses, gives him a quick pep talk, and suddenly all his mental issues have faded away. Something tells me he was hoping for something else, but now he is part of the Zoe team. Dad reveals himself from the SWAT car, and this cop is completely blind as he goes right by unnoticed.
I'll kill another, I guess.
Wait!
While Tristan meets the girl who's been messing around with his plans, Dad is assembling his rifle. Reformed shooter quietly enters the room unnoticed. Hello there, I'm here. Yes, Tristan, I am now not on your team. They curse at each other and all hell breaks loose. Zoe and Lewis make an escape attempt. In the gunfire, Lewis was actually shot on the leg, so he lays down on the couch. Zoe gives him a heartwarming kiss, and now she tells him to hang tight. Zoe walks into the chemistry room, I guess. Shooter number 2 is following her. That further confirms my theory that this is the chemistry room. After a little bit of fighting, shooter number 2 gets the up on her, gets the gun, is about to shoot her, and then... This is a cool perk of having a military dad. Tristan realizes that his whole plan is going sideways, so he gets a random victim and tells them to follow him. Zoe makes it back to the CAF, tells everybody to leave, goes into the van, and realizes there's a bomb that's about to take off in 40 seconds.
There's a bomb in there! Go! Go! Please! Come on!
Most people get out, but she notices that there are a couple who can't even move. That's when she pulls off the highest IQ maneuver I've ever seen in a movie. She then runs out of the cafeteria. While running in the hallways, a SWAT team officer finds her, but then an explosion came out of nowhere. Looks like Tristan chose the easy way out. That doesn't mean we don't handcuff you, girl. Perfect time to talk to your mom. She gets a little talk with the sheriff, and the sheriff explains how brave she was. I think she knows though. Then we get an emotional talk with Dad.
Thanks for saving my life.
You gave mine a purpose 18 years ago.
Hey, remember Lewis?
You gonna be okay? Yeah, should be.
A pedestrian just asks you if he's gonna be okay, and the best response you have is, should be. Oh, but what's that? Tristan is not dead? Is that him with the cap? He is going for the park. But Zoe spotted him, and she follows him with a rifle, the dad's rifle. Tristan comes back to a little stash that he had with an ammo crate. I wonder what's inside, a passport and some cash. This guy had an escape plan. After all this girl has been through, she looks like the shooter more than the actual shooter. She was about to go for the one shot, one kill, but then changes her mind. This is my favorite shot from the whole movie. Then she gives him the pep talk that Dad was giving her in the woods at the beginning of the movie.
But with that process comes extreme pain.
Once again, she spots a boulder and she goes for the kill.